So one of the campaigns that we are doing that goes along with the American Mariachi is the Yo Soy Houston Mariachi. And the Yo Soy Houston Mariachi is a campaign where we are going to connect and invite our local mariachi groups, even our local folklorico groups, and they're actually going to be presenting a pre-show for the folks out in the lobby, and they're going to be able to have some entertainment even before they go into the theater and sit down and really enjoy the wonderful, beautiful,
Wow.
vibrant mariachi music that's on stage. So you'll be getting two different shows: the pre-show to get you all
Wow.
excited, and then the actual show.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Spotlight Houston, where we bring you the best of the people, places, and events in Houston. This week, we have an interview with Baldemar Rodriguez from the Alley Theater to talk about the El Zocalo Initiative and their upcoming production of American Mariachi. And now your host, Blanca Quezada.
Hi, the celebration of National Hispanic Heritage Month is about to kick off, and it's beginning this weekend, September 15th, and ends October 15th. And just like every year, there's going to be plenty of fun events happening around Houston. And of course, there will be plenty of mariachis playing their vibrant music anywhere you go, which is fantastic for me. So today with me is Baldemar Rodriguez. He is the manager of community partnerships with the Alley Theaters El Zocalo, and he'll be telling us how they will be celebrating Hispanic heritage. So Baldemar, welcome to Spotlight Houston. It's great to have you here.
Muchísimas gracias, Blanca. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here on your show. I'm excited. Thank you for the invitation.
You're very welcome. I'm just as excited as you are to have you here. For a lot of people that don't know who you are, you're this exciting person in Houston that I love to talk to. You have done so much in communications here in the city, and not just communications, but the arts as well. You've received a lot of awards and recognitions for your work in front and behind the cameras. Worked on incredible films that have gotten a lot of accolades. And you have also worked on stage and off stage. And I've seen a lot of your plays as well. I also think that you've done a fantastic job as an artistic director for the Latino Bilingue de Houston, with great productions like the play Las Nuevas Tamaleras and much more, which Las Nuevas Tamaleras I will never forget because it was so funny and so good. It was perfect because this was right before Christmas, and in a lot of households, Hispanic households, it's all about tamales.
Yes, yeah.
So what I really like about you, though, is that you always strive to elevate our Latino roots, the culture and traditions through the art. And so that means a lot for Houston, I think. So how did you partner with the Alley Theater?
Well, actually, was always a dream of mine to come work at the Alley Theater when I was still going back through my theater degree at the University of Houston. And I eventually, an opportunity it came about to be able to do the work that I love to do. And that's going out into the community and forming partnerships and making connections and really introducing the community to the arts, to the cultural arts. And more specifically, yo soy Mexicano, born in Tamaulipas, in Matamoros. And it's so exciting for me to be able to do the kind of work that I do. And that means to bring out the culture and the tradition that my parents taught me growing up and be able to do that. And so an opportunity opened up at the Alley Theater. I applied for it and they invited me to join the team, this amazing team here at Alley Theater. And I've been doing that ever since I started here. It's been just an amazing ride because I have the opportunity to let our community know what's happening in theater arts, in the music world, and of course the acting world. And so that's how I came to be part of the team. It's initially, I would like to say that even before I started working at the Alley Theater, when I was the artistic director of Talento Bilingue de Houston, we did form a partnership, and it was wonderful to work with such an amazing institution, creative arts institution like Alley Theater, and be able to collaborate in projects, be able to collaborate in the education workshops and events and programs across Houston in the Houston area. And for that, it's just, I knew that eventually I was going to find a home here at Alley Theater, and I did. And it's just a pleasure to work here. It's, I tell people that I'm like a cheerleader because it's like I have a bullhorn with me and I'm letting everybody know, hey, this is what we're doing. You got to come out. And then when I meet new folks in other creative organizations and institutions, like, what are you doing? So I can start letting everybody know what you're doing, because it's so great to share all the creative work that Houston has to offer. And that is how I came to be the manager of community partnerships here at LA Theater and events. Every day is a new day. Every day I meet new people. Every day I get to let the folks know, our community
Yeah.
know the amazing creative arts that's happening in our city.
And I'm glad you're there because it's the perfect job for you. I love that. So how did the name El Zocalo come about for the Alley Theater?
So it's so kind of as every major Latin American city has this space that people get together in. The space in Mexico, Mexico City, they have the space. El Zocalo was it's right smack in the middle of the city, and this is it's kind of like the Alley Theater's metaphoric. El Zocalo is a place where we come to celebrate, grow, and interact with Houston's diverse Latin culture and artistic community. As in Mexico, when they come together in El Zocalo, they come because they're celebrating these wonderful fiestas patrias. They celebrate the inauguration of the president with their Cinco de Mayo or Dia de las Madres. This is a place where the community comes together and really just celebrates the arts and the culture. And so we were able to, before I got here at the LA Theater, a wonderful group of folks here in the education and community engagement department, they were the ones that set up this initiative, and they called it El Zocalo. And it's just, the name is so fitting because this initiative is really the Alley Theater's way to connect you with the community of different backgrounds, certainly different, like different languages, folks that only speak Spanish. And so this initiative allows Alley Theater to connect with different organizations. The Alley Theater Initiative, the Zocalo Initiative, has an Alley Theater Advisory Committee. And I think that is one of the great strengths that this initiative has. I've been able to go out into my community, into our community in Houston, and connect with executive directors, presidents of organizations and nonprofits, and then artists themselves that have the same passion to promote the cultural arts, the cultural and traditional arts. And they are literally my connection to Houston. So this group of wonderful, amazing folks are part of this advisory committee. We meet quarterly. We talk about what is happening in every little sector of the city and all the different art disciplines. And we come together to really promote each other, promote the different entities, the different venues, different projects. But more so for me here at Alley Theater, they are literally a collective voice that really advises me and advises the Alley on what we should be looking out for, what productions we should consider, what is the new thing that's out there that's creating a buzz. And it's basically, the way I see it is that is our community, they have a voice at the Alley Theater table to say, hey, this is what Houston needs. We want to see this play about this subject matter. We want to see it play about this, or we need more educational programming in schools. We need to be able to market to folks that don't understand English or don't speak English, don't understand English. So this initiative goes far beyond just of what play are we going to produce here at Alley Theater. It really is connecting with the community. It's really that at the end of the day, what I tell folks is that this is your theater. Alley Theater is your theater. So I need you to tell me what needs to happen. I need your voice to be part of what happens in the city. And so that's what the El Zocalo Initiative is. And I'm so blessed that I'm able to maintain all these amazing relationships that I've had for many years and create new ones on a daily basis. I just meet so many new folks that are doing so many amazing things. And so
Yeah.
through the El Zocalo Initiative, that is how I am able to really create a legacy here at Alley Theater for our Houston community.
Mm-hmm. So I know that you have a lot of great events and things that are going to be coming up. But what has the theater or in Zocalo done in the past to bring out the Hispanic community?
Well, one of the first projects that I was involved in terms of going out into the community was Quijote Nuevo. Quijote Nuevo was a production. It was directed by KJ Sanchez. It was an amazing production adaptation, and we were telling a wonderful story that people could relate to. And so from that particular project that we did several years ago, and the communication that I have with the advisory committee, we started talking about other projects that had the Latino theme. One of them was a recent production that we did and that we're producing. It is called Torera. And it's about a young girl that wants to become a bullfighter. And so that, of course, resonates with the community. It's about women empowerment. It talks about a tradition, bullfighting that happened in many countries in Latin America. And so it was able to really, the play was set in a place in Mexico. So everything from the music to the set design to the language to just all different aspects that you could think of a production, it was something that resonated with our Latino community. And so having those productions like Torera, which is so important for our community. We did one for Christmas. It is called What a Christmas. And it was basically our version, the Latino version of Scrooge and A Christmas Carol. And it's about a young gal that works at a fast food joint, similar to, it's a burger place, a 24-hour burger place. And she she's kind of just wants to be alone. And so she works on Christmas Eve. And then during Christmas Eve, she is visited by several ghosts. The ghost of Selena comes and visits her. And
Oh, wow.
past and future, basically just opens her eyes to not be a Scrooge. So it was a very fun Christmas production that we did last year. And then before that, we did 72 Miles to Go. And it was a production. It was an all Latino cast, and it touched on the subject of immigration and being in this country undocumented and how families cope with that situation, which there's so many people, and not just from Latin American countries, but from other countries that know someone or themselves are in a situation of being undocumented. So this was another production that we scheduled for one of the seasons, and the community came out and they were able to see themselves on stage and be able to really see a production that resonated with them, that they could connect. And of course, it was great. One thing that I want to mention is that during the time that I started working here, we wanted to not only, in order for us to do these productions on our stages, we needed to have more Latinos as actors. And so one of the great things that Ali did is we have what we call the resident acting company that's composed of many wonderful actors. And they pretty much are actors that are cast in the different productions throughout the season. And so we went out, the Ali Theater went out and did a humongous audition process. And we now invited 2 new members of our Houston community to be part of this resident acting company. And those 2 artists are Latino. And so now the options to explore different productions that require someone that speaks Spanish or that looks a certain way, now it's more feasible. And now we're able to really branch out and do more amazing productions because our resident acting company has grown to include 2 Latino artists, 2 Latino actors, which means that these actors are able to make a career in the acting world, in the acting industry. And so LA Theater has always, they want to make everything from the productions that you see on stage to the cast, to the crew, to the folks behind the scenes and behind the stage to be a true representation of Houston, which
And I'm sure that you've had a lot to do with that.
well, I had my granito de sal. My little grain of salt was in there. Of course, I'm always shared my desires and my wish list, as well as the El Zocalo rules that through them, but through me, they're able to express their desires of how they want the alley to grow, to be more inclusive. And so I would love to say that I want to take some of that credit just a little bit, but really it's our whole institution, our whole company here at Alley Theater, that all of us in all the different departments, for the folks that are in the leadership, from the folks that are in our board, from the folks that are in all the different departments, from our teaching artists, all of us collectively, we all have those wishes. And so yes, to answer your question, I did have a little bit to do with it, but it's just the way that Alley Theater is being led by amazing
Yeah.
leaders that
Yeah.
we're able to make that happen.
Well, I also think that you've had a hand in making sure that the community here in Houston recognizes that we have a lot of talent that needs to be recognized as well. So
You're absolutely right. It's we are now considered the largest regional theater in the country, and it's been measured by many different ways. And so people look to us at the Alley Theater for opportunities to work in the different departments. Whether you're a prop artist, whether you're an actor, whether you're a music director, whether you are a seamstress or someone that designs sets or they do with audio or lighting. There's a lot of creative folks in our city. And where we have a production, they come to me and say, Baldemar, we need, or they call me Valde. Also, it's a short, the cariño, they call me Valde or Valdemar. Valde, we need to go out into the community because we need such and such for this next production. Please share it with the city, share it with your folks, because we want to be interested. We want to make this opportunity available to all the different artists in Houston. So yes, we do have a lot of artists, and they work in some of them, like and I'll touch a little bit in a second about what we're doing with American Mariachi. But some of these artists are out there in restaurants. They're playing during dinner, and they get paid to perform a song. Whereas some other folks are out there doing dance routines for different productions in the different venues around Houston. Some of them are writers, writing things, writing stories and whatnot, poetry. It's like there's so much talent that goes. That's not just acting, because people just think, oh, in theater it's just acting. No, there's so many different areas, creative areas that you can work in. And yes, we are out there. I consider myself, our Alley Theater, as one of the big supporters of the local artists here in Houston and surrounding areas. Because when we need a specific role to be filled, or a specific writer or a director or designer for the different shows, is we go to the community to find out who here in Houston can support the vision that we have, and then we hire them and then we contract them. And so, yes, so I have been very blessed in my career to meet so many wonderful folks. And I know when someone needs someone that speaks Spanish to do the simultaneous translations for some of the productions, you know what? I got this. Let me go out, talk to some friends. They come in, they get the role. They need someone. Hey, you know what? It doesn't require acting like on stage, but if we need the face of this poster for this new production, I go out there, and lo and behold, we get the folks come in. And now for some of the posters and the marquee that's out there, the images that are out there, they're from our very own. And who can say, oh my goodness, I'm in the poster for this project from this region, the largest regional theater in the country. And it's our very own folks here.
And it's hanging out outside the Alley Theater,
The Alley
major
Theater,
theater.
yes.
And when we do go to the theater, you're mentioning all these people behind the scenes, and all we do is we go and see this production. We see the actors and we see what's on stage, but we don't see what it took and to put it all together. And we don't see or hear about all the people in the background that took hours to bring it all together.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the things I want to share here with our community is that we used to do this before COVID, but now that it's like we're able to now open our doors and really showcase a lot of what we do here at the Alley. It's that we used to have tours with schools and groups, organizations that would come and see the different areas, the different departments, where they built the sets, where they did the wigs, the costumes, the design, the lighting, and
The sound, yeah.
the sound. And that's exactly what you're saying. All these different career paths, all these different creatives under one building. Well, actually, we have actually, one huge building, but they're all under two different areas of the building, different floors. And we would take the folks and we introduce them to the world of scene making and prop making and wig making. And it is so amazing to see the folks that come in and go, I didn't know that to work in a theater, I could be from an accountant all the way to building the backdrops as a painter or a graphic designer who could create the posters for this, or the person that actually builds the actual set on the stage or creating all the musical score that goes along with a specific show, the projections, the lighting to set the mood. All of these are career paths that people really don't, they experience it when they see a play, but they don't know that it's a career. They don't know that there's people, and it's actually, most of the time it's just a humongous, like 4 or 5 times the size of the cast, because they're in all different areas.
A lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts. Last year, we did A Midsummer Night's Dream. It was a production that we were able to take out into the community. This is another wonderful way for us to go out and really showcase the theater arts. And it was called A Midsummer Night's Dream. And we literally would go into, let's say, if they did like one of the neighborhood centers, Ripley House, and we would go into their gym or we'd go into their cafeteria area, and we literally would set chairs on in all four sides, and the set was movable. We set it in front, and then literally, since it's a big old wide open space, the actors would go on what they knew that stage was in the center. And then when they went off stage, which was literally just past the people that were sitting in the chairs, they would undress and you would see literally like somebody took out the walls in the theater and you would see what exactly happened. And they're changing right in front of your very eyes. They're changing clothes. They're putting on a wig and the hike in their shoes and a new outfit and boom.
In split
And they
seconds, right?
and yes, but you're literally seeing what's on stage and behind the scenes. And that was so eye-opening for a lot of people that came to see the shows. They're like, man, I didn't know that, because there was really like, say the cast was 6 folks, 7 folks. And there were literally 20 people out on the different areas where they would go off stage and they were changing them back and forth, helping the actor change their hairstyle, change or their headdresses, and then their outfits and their shoes and all of that stuff happened. And there were literally 2 shows going on. What was happening on stage and then what was happening backstage, because it was just so impressive. And folks were just so excited to get at that inside view of what it takes to do a production. And
What an innovative idea. That was just amazing.
yes, yes. And then
Yeah.
so this is another way of how Alley Theater is bringing these wonderful programs out into the community. And one thing that I would love to say with the project that taking the Midsummer Night's Dream out into the community is that it's under a program called Alley Transported. And what we wanted to do, Blanca, is we wanted to take this production to neighborhoods, take them, because a lot of folks, maybe they don't drive, they don't frequent downtown. Then maybe there's a lot of oh, I wouldn't even know where to park or how to get there. And so to take out all those different challenges of coming into downtown Houston to enjoy an entertainment program, to play with me, we decided to go out into different communities. We did a presentation at one of the Baker Ripley venues. We did one at Houston Community College. We did those throughout Houston so that people in their neighborhoods, so they didn't have to travel. That's how we were making these programs and projects, productions accessible to them. And then we said, if you ever want to come to the Alley Theater, let's work with some other partners, like working with Metro to helping folks to get comfortable riding the public transit to come in to downtown. It's all part of educating our community that these productions and these creative things, like a museum or go and see a ballet or go and see a musical over at Tut's Hobby Center, that all those are within reach. We don't need to be afraid of, oh, I don't know how to get there. I don't frequent downtown and all this. Well, no, let's
Yeah.
get that out of the way. And that's how
Right.
we wanted to do that. Take it out to the community and then let them know while we're there how to come back and come and visit us here at Alley.
Yeah. And a lot of times people don't go out too because they feel like they don't understand things, but actually they get to learn.
Yes.
They get to learn and they get to have fun. Well, Baldemar, what is the production that you have coming up that's going to honor National Hispanic Month?
So we have an amazing production that's coming up, and it's called American Mariachi. And it's an amazing production. It's a production about love, about family, and tradition are at the core of this heartwarming play. And it's really about the freedom of an American dream, or the freedom to dream big. And it's about a young girl, college age, and she wants to create her mariachi band with a lot of her girlfriends. So she really wants to start her own female mariachi band. It's set in the 70s. It's back in the time where, not that we don't have that now, but in the 70s, the machismo that existed in the Hispanic households, it was just like, it gave so many challenges. It put so many challenges on women, young women, to gente de tercera edad, ladies that are of a certain age, that it prevented them from following their dreams. And so this play is about a young woman that's chasing that dream. She wants to dream big, and she overcomes all these obstacles to be able to do what she loves to do. And that's sing and continue the culture and the tradition that is the mariachi music.
Yeah.
And so,
A lot of people don't know or understand what a mariachi is, but it's an extremely cultural tradition in Mexico. I think that it began in the 1700s, but some people say in the 1800s. But for sure, they have a long history in the country, and it never fails that they are always a huge part of any festive celebration. And fortunately, we have them here in Houston. They've moved from Mexico to Houston too, so which is a lot of fun. But so where did this play come from? Where did the idea of doing this come from?
so this production is a production. It was written by Jose Cruz Gonzalez, and San Antonio did a production about a year or so ago. And I was fortunate and blessed to have seen this play. It was a great story, and so we were able to acquisition the rights to be able to produce a show here in Houston. It's directed by KJ Sanchez. It's an all Latino cast. We haven't had the opportunity to speak to Jose Cruz Gonzalez about where the idea came from, but I'm very sure if I could be able to speak for him, it's just his love for music, his love for culture, his love for family, right? But this production here, we are so excited to be able to program this during our 77th season. We're going to have the mariachi music is influenced by so many different excellent Latin American countries. I can tell you that we just recently had Educarte Tu Voz, which is a workshop that was led by Jose Longoria. He is one of our most renowned mariachi instructors. He is the mariachi instructor for Las Pumas, which is the University of Houston Mariachi. He also has Mariachi Imperial, his own mariachi group. And he is the the mariachi music director for American Mariachi. And so this past Saturday, we had a workshop where he really talked about the history of mariachi and the history that men and women have played in the mariachi world, right? And so he talked about the different influence from Spain, from other countries, and definitely in Mexico, the different regions, just even the different costumes came about, and how the different music from pangos to rancheras to even cumbias, all of that. And so we are going to have another Educarte Tu Voz it's a singing workshop that's paired with educational components to be able to educate our community who's curious about where did mariachis come from. We only see them when we have maybe go to a
Yeah.
wedding or a restaurant, but this is
Yeah. And Baldemar, I'm sure that you don't have to be Hispanic to go to this class.
not at all, not at all. This is for anyone that is interested in learning about the mariachi culture, lifestyle. It's people think it's tradition. It's something that only happens during National Hispanic Heritage Month or during Cinco de Mayo. No, this is literally the world. Y el mundo de mariachi is really the people that are mariachi singers. Something that they live, they eat, dream, sleep, shower, mariachi, everything. And that's what
Yeah.
during this class, you'll be able to be able to get all that information.
When is American Mariachi happening at the alley?
Okay, so we open September the 22nd, and it's going to run all the way through October the 22nd. And we are actually going to have some simultaneous translations dates, and the dates let me make sure that I have the correct date for you, but let me just, so the September the 29th is going to be a date where we're going to have Spanish language translations, and people that come in will see the show and be able to put some devices through their ear and be able to hear what they're seeing up on stage. They're going to be able to hear it in Spanish. We have several actors that are going to be doing the roles. That way, anyone that wants to come and enjoy this play and really have this wonderful experience, they can do it in their own language. It's September the 29th at 8 p.m., October the 7th at 8 p.m., and October the 14th at 2 p.m. for a matinee show. And so we tell you this because we want to make sure that this play is accessible to anybody who wants to come see it, even if you don't understand the language. But Tuesday through Friday, the shows are at 8 o'clock, and Saturdays and Sundays, we have matinees at 2, and we have the evening shows at 8 o'clock. Now, go ahead. Mhm.
No, and I was going to say, and I'm sure we're going to hear some amazing mariachi music.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the campaigns that we are doing that goes along with the American Mariachi is the Yo Soy Houston Mariachi. And the Yo Soy Houston Mariachi is a campaign where we are going to connect and invite our local mariachi groups, even our local folklorico groups, and they're actually going to be presenting a pre-show for the folks out in the lobby, and they're going to be able to have some entertainment even before they go into the theater and sit down and really enjoy the wonderful, beautiful,
Wow.
vibrant mariachi music that's on stage. So you'll be getting two different shows. The pre-show to get you all
Wow.
excited, and then the actual show. And let me tell you this, Blanca, when we produce something here, the Alley Theater, I guess folks come into the alley, they come and sit down and they enjoy, they have a wonderful experience. But through this American Mariachi production, we are able to now fold in and invite the community so the community can also experience the excitement of the mariachi world and experience the audience and the love that the people that come to see the show are going to give them. And they'll be performing here, and we're going to be able to promote them, the individual local mariachi bands, along with the local folklorico bands. We have some duets. We have some mariachi soloists. We actually also are going to be having here Eduardo Trevino, and he is a young man who made it to the semifinalists in America's Got Talent. So
Oh, yes, he's amazing.
he is, right. So
He's
he's going to,
amazing 11-year-old little kid.
so we
Incredible voice.
Eduardo Alley Theater early last year, we folded him into a lot of different, even last year's Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. And he has come and he's performed to our audience here at Alley, and we're continuing that. He's going to be one of the mariachi entertainments for the pre-show during the run of American Mariachis. I hope your audience are able to come and see the show. We are going to go on our page, alleytheater.org. Go in there and you'll see the dates. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to each of these groups, like Eduardo, like Mariachi Imperial, these different groups that are going to be performing, these local groups, we're going to be giving out promotional codes to the community, to their fans. And there's going to be so many different promotional codes out there so that the community can get discounted tickets so they could bring their families. They could
Oh,
bring
that's
a date.
wonderful.
Yes, and one of our initiatives here is we follow the values and the mission of EDIA, which is equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility. That's what we honor that for ourselves in our community and for our people. And that means that we want to make it as affordable, as convenient through travel, through giving folks instructions on how to get here on public transit and to come here. If you have a family of 4, to make sure that we give you that there's tickets available so that you can bring your family for an evening of theater entertainment, and it's not gonna break the bank. So all that we take all of that into consideration so that every person that wants to come in our community, that wants to come and see a show at the Alley can. And so that's why I'm telling you that.
Baldemar, we're running a little bit out of time here. So I just want to know, you were mentioning classes. So can we find out about these classes on the website as well?
You can. Absolutely. The class so that you folks could already know and put in the calendar. We're going to have it October the 7th. It's going to be the mariachi workshop. Okay. We're going to have a mariachi workshop on Saturday, October the 7th. And you'll be able to, and I guess this is for anybody that's listening. You don't have to be Latino. You don't have to speak Spanish. You just have to come with an open heart and open mind. And this is going to be, just go to our website. You can go to the website, alleytheater.org, and you'll see community. There's a tab at the top that says community. You open that up and it's going to say upcoming projects and events. And that's where you'll see all the different things, even the dates for simultaneous translations, the workshops that we're having. We're actually going to also have a kickoff to National Hispanic Heritage Month, where we would invite the audience to come, and we're going to talk to the director of American Mariachi, and we're going to talk to the founder of a mariachi group, a local mariachi group that's made up all women. And so we'll be able to talk to them to see how their journey has been and really get to know literally how art imitates life and how life imitates art, right? Because we're going to be
How awesome. That is going to be awesome.
Yeah, and that's going to be September the 15th to kick off National Hispanic Heritage Month. But again, go into the community tab under alleytheater.org. Under the community tab, you'll see upcoming projects and events. That's where we're going to have all of that. So please, audience, thank you so much to your listeners. We welcome you. This is your theater. Alley Theater is your theater. Let us know what we need to do your opinion is so valid. to us and valuable to us. So we will want to hear from you. There's ways that you can connect with us through our website as well. And we really invite everybody to come out. This is
Well,
the
well, Baldemar, is there a phone number where people can call for
would you
information?
our box office is 713-220-5700. And then you can get tickets through there. But certainly calling the hold on a second. And one thing is like if there's organizations out there as well, they're like, we would love to take all of our folks from this nonprofit or this business or whatever that you want to make it where it's group sales. And you could call our group sales office and their number is 713-315-3346. And that way your group, you have like 10 or more, all come together and really enjoy this production as a group. We're trying to do is whatever it is that we can to be able to cater to the needs of our community. And part of that is to make sure that there's a way for you to contact. But myself, Valdemar, I'm ready to take care of your listeners. Please send me an email. Again, it's valdemar@alleytheater.org. And I would love to direct you wherever you want. If you're a teacher and you want to come and do a tour with your students, if you want to come to a workshop, you want to do a meet and greet with some of the actors, we explore all these different opportunities for you. So please get in touch with me. I would love to know what I can do to take the theater arts to your community, to your school, to your venue.
Thank you, Baldemar, so much for joining me today and telling me all about the Alley Theater and about this wonderful production that you have coming up, American Mariachi. And best wishes to you always on whatever upcoming on whatever upcoming endeavors you have. So, and as always, thank you as well for joining me. And please send me your comments. And if you have any show ideas, please let me know.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Spotlight Houston, a production of Story Zone Media.